Korean women are dedicated to erasing Korea from the planet because listen to this. I will not give birth to a life that will discriminate against my gender. My own flesh and blood must not become a blade turned against me. If the world born from my body oppresses me, I will not let that world exist. This is the declaration from the Korean feminists, and they are dead ass serious. They started the 4B movement where they rejected marriage, childbirth, dating schmacks with men. And now Korea has the world's lowest birth rate and is indeed projected to be the first country disappearing from the planet due to population decline. You know what? You gotta respect Korean women's vision.
Korean women literally just gave up on their men. They're like, they're fucking assholes, they're not gonna change, so we're all gonna go extinct.
No heterosexual marriage, no childbirth, no dating men, and no heterosexual relationships. These are the vibes of the 4B movement in South Korea. It's basically a feminist movement protesting against the country's rampant misogyny and advocates women to reject gender norms, including marriage and having kids. The 4Bs stand for the 4 principles in Korean, coined in 2016 by the author Cho Nam-ju. Now it's blowing up on TikTok, especially after these YouTubers on their platform Solidarity said that marriage is the root cause of patriarchy. But a recent catalyst of the movement may also be incidents of high-profile murders of women, revenge porn, and spy cam sex crimes. Lots of people online are saying it's a long time coming and it's a rational response to the male-dominated culture of South Korea. You can also see women from other countries expressing solidarity with the 4B movement and wanting it to spread. Some critics of the 4B movement are claiming it's the reason behind the low birth rate in South Korea. South Korea has the world's lowest birth rate and hit an all-time high in 2023 of only 0.78 kids per woman. But others argue that the low birth rate is due to economic reasons, like poor job prospects, the high cost of raising kids, unaffordable housing, and long working hours. And the gendered reasons. Mothers face discrimination in the workplace, gender-based violence is prevalent in relationships, and women are expected to take on the majority of household burdens. But some female South Korean bloggers have said that the 4B movement is just an exaggeration of Western ideologies and represents a very small part of the population. It's hard to know how many women are part of 4B, as lots of the women keep themselves anonymous, but estimates range from between 5 to 50,000 women.
So, the 4B movement is having a bit of a resurgence. In case you don't know what the 4B movement is, the 4B movement is a feminist movement that originated from South Korea. And what the 4B movement basically means is that South Korea women are going to take on the 4Bs. The 4Bs being 1. No dating men. 2. No having sex with men. 3. No getting married to men. And also 4. Lastly, not giving birth. And I think the last one is the one that is eating not just men, but society whole and the government of South Korea the hard way, because South Korea's birth rates have been plummeting down to the dungeon. And not just men, but also the government and their economy are having a hard time because of it. Let's get into it.
So apparently women do not want to have babies anymore, and I do not blame us. They say that Korea is projected to be the first country of people, or I guess nationality of people, to disappear from the planet.
Korean women are dedicated to erasing Korea from the planet because listen to this. I will not give birth to a life that will discriminate against my gender. My own flesh and blood must not become a blade turned against me. If the world born from my body oppresses me, I will not let that world exist. This is the declaration from the Korean feminists, and they are dead ass serious. They started the 4B movement where they rejected marriage, childbirth, dating schmacks with men. And now Korea has the world's lowest birth rate and is indeed projected to be the first country disappearing from the planet due to population decline. You know what? You gotta respect.
I feel like I still see a lot of men who want to have babies, who want to make a lot of kids. But the truth be told is, I really think that men would prefer to have more kids than women would, because let's just be for real. Men don't really have to do anything other than give their sperm. Like, we have to do, like, women are exhausted. Women are tired. Women don't want to have 5 or 6, 7, 8 kids. Like, it's exhausting. It tears up your body. The mental load, the physical load, it's just too much. And a lot of times you go through all of that hell and you still don't get respected. And so it's like, what's the point? Like, I honestly think that we should just let the world go extinct.
I saw a creator on here start off her video by saying that Korean women are dedicated to wiping Korea off of the planet because of the 4B movement. And that just like really rubbed me the wrong way because it completely negates the nuance as to why South Korean women got to this point. It honestly creates a really harmful stereotype when it comes to Korean women because it still pushes the responsibility of the declining birth rate back to us. Because let's think about it. If it was really a Korean women issue, wouldn't you think that North Korea would also have the lowest birth rate or the second lowest birth rate? This type of content completely fails to recognize that the birth rate is declining overall in the world. There's a downward trend. It fails to look at how accelerated capitalism also makes detrimental side effects to collectivist culture. I hate this idea that Korean women aren't having kids just to spite men. It's also because they understand the implications of bringing the next generation into a society like this. Also, there's so many misconceptions and fallacies that a lot of non-Korean people have been pushing about the 4B movement that maybe I will do a separate video on that because I do think I have to do further research on it. But honestly, there's just so many things that need to be taken into consideration and talked about when talking about the declining birth rate in Korea. And it's so much fucking deeper than Korean women being dedicated to wiping Korea off the planet. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Korean women have no idea what the 4B movement is, and we need to stop this misinformation online. By now, you've probably heard that Korea has one of the lowest birth rates in the world. And a lot of people on TikTok specifically are attributing this to the 4B movement, which, if you don't know, it's a radical feminist movement that basically tells women to completely eliminate men in their lives, which includes not dating them, not marrying them, not sleeping with them, not having children with them. When you search up the term on TikTok, you will not see one single Korean person being like, yes, this is me right now, this is me, I'm 4B. As someone who has lived in Korea for 4 years, the first and only time I've ever heard about this movement is from TikTok, from Western creators. I asked my Korean friends, like, hey, what do you think about the 4B movement? They literally told me, I don't know what that is. Something to also note, in Korea, being a feminist or referring to yourself as a feminist is still kind of like taboo. Tell any Korean man that you're a feminist, he'll look at you crazy. So no, the birth rate in Korea is not low because of the 4B movement, a movement which started around 2016/2019. It's because it's just too expensive. People are still dating, people are still getting married at a lower rate, but again, it's because it's too expensive. Speak to any Korean person and they will say, I want to get married. I maybe want to have kids if I can afford it. No normal everyday Korean person is telling you, yes, I'm practicing the 4B movement.
The reason I want to boost this video is because I'm seeing a lot of anti-feminist propaganda from all angles of the political spectrum. So I want to warn you all of what's coming. A lot of us have seen the videos trivializing FGM or just trying to desensitize a wide audience of people to women's issues. This is for a reason. There are going to be a lot of horrific things that are going to start happening to women where you are. A lot of horrific things, cultural and otherwise, are going to be exposed. Their goal is to get you to be detached from that. It's also to make it taboo to even talk about. Whether it's the human breeding farms in the Congo or the women on that German island being literally hunted down, they want to prepare you to accept that. It's just a matter of what language they use in order to achieve that. Progressives and conservatives are on a united front as far as sexism and misogyny are concerned. They understand that breeding women is their bottom line. They need a permanent underclass in order to continue to function. So atrocities are going to be committed in the name of the family and in the name of the future. This is why we're seeing a mass demonization of women's efforts. No matter what we do, they're going to find something wrong with it. And it's not because they care. It's because they know that is how they dominate us. They don't care about inclusion. They don't care about anti-blackness or all the phobias. They don't care about their country. They care about power. And that's why now is the time to start getting involved in your local grassroots women's efforts. Everything else is irrelevant. And all outside groups are enemies until proven otherwise.
They started the 4B movement where they rejected marriage, childbirth, dating schmacks with men. And now Korea has the world's lowest birth rate and is indeed projected to be the first country disappearing from the planet due to poverty.
This is your reminder that the 4B movement is not what Westerners say it is. The 4B movement in South Korea hates women almost as much as it hates men. So it places the blame on women in every scenario. DV victims, women who are pregnant, women who are mothers, women who are trying to escape their bad situations, they blame the women. And they're also extremely hostile towards sexual minorities. They hate gay people. They hate trans people. The concept of the 4B movement in South Korea is not intersectional. It focused primarily on reproductive biology. And that's why the bigotry comes out, because it isn't intersectional. It does not examine any other aspects. The 4B movement is so tiny in Korea. Most feminists in South Korea do not accept or follow their ideals, which the goals that they set for the movement are not terrible. Like, men have been historically detrimental to women and restrictive and abusive, so it makes sense, why you wouldn't want to associate with them. But they're not the reason why South Korea is going through a declining birth rate. That problem existed before this movement. The short answer is capitalism. Same thing with North Korea. So it is very odd when Westerners annually get on this app and try to promote the 4B movement as some type of women hating men and finally fighting against, bringing children into a harmful world. Yeah, it sounds like a perfect Western fever dream of feminism, of radical feminism, but it is not. And I hate to be the man that tells you this. I highly recommend you listen to Korean women who have gotten on this app to remind Westerners that their feminism and their issues are more unique to their country than, a broad idea. So I strongly suggest you listen to them before you start promoting the 4B movement. I don't think this creator meant it in a harmful way. I think that she genuinely just doesn't know the problematic and dangerous. They've doxed a lot of people in South Korea. They are just not the best movement to be supporting.
When it comes to the 4B movement, a lot of men have been making this argument recently. Korean women are already debunking the 4B movement. It's not even that common over there. Fun fact, do you know why people said the same thing about the civil rights movement? White people all over the country, particularly white Southerners, said that Martin Luther King was a rabble-rouser, an out-of-towner who came and artificially stirred up fervor that never would have been there. Our good Negroes are satisfied in their places. This man's a communist. He's just stoking up a race war for no reason. And these men today say, oh, women, Westerners are just stoking up a gender war that doesn't exist. As I said earlier, there's no way of knowing how many women participate in 4B because they have to do so secretly. Because there's so many crimes being committed against any woman who openly espouses feminism in South Korea. But it's not about 4B. Let's look at the facts. South Korea has the world's lowest fertility rate. That article's from NPR. These are from this year from Reuters and BBC. And it's worth noting South Korea has had the lowest fertility rate since 2017. And every year it plunges lower. They got the record low in 2017, and every year it gets lower and lower and lower. The South Korean government and companies there have put in place all these financial incentives to get women to have more children, and it's not working. Why? Because women's concerns have to do with weak maternity leave policies and a stubborn resistance by men to help with the housework. It's the same as over here. Women do not want to be punished for having children economically and socially, and we actually need help. You can make all the economic incentives in the world, but there's no incentive for the woman. The additional money does her no good if there's no help for her. Companies are offering one-time payouts of $75,000 or $100,000. That won't even cover the cost of raising a child, especially in Korea. All covered in this BBC article. It's all covered in this BBC article. They go directly to South Korean women, their sole correspondent does, and talk to the women who aren't having the babies and ask them why they aren't having them. It talks about all these incentives. Couples who have children are showered with cash. Hospital bills, IVF, all this stuff is getting covered, but their financial incentives aren't working because they're not paying attention to what women are saying. Unsurprisingly, policymakers have been accused of not listening to young people, especially women, about their needs. And what do the women say? It's hard to find a dateable man in Korea, one who will share the chores and the child care equally. And women who have babies alone are not judged kindly. Plus, it's about the perpetual cycle of work. Work hours, kind of like the school hours there, are longer than what we consider usual. This woman says she's so tired at the weekend she has to go get an IV drip just to be able to go back into work on Monday. Then another woman who herself used to work in HR, she says she's seen people who are forced to leave their jobs or get passed over for promotions once they get pregnant. A lot of the jobs there don't offer maternity leave at all. And the ones that do, you get punished for taking it. So they kind of mock the PSAs that South Korea is doing, like with dinosaurs. Oh, don't go extinct like us. Women are over it. They're over the threats and they're over the rhetoric. They keep telling you what their actual problems are and you're not solving them. A lot of women do want to get married and have children, but there are no viable candidates on the horizon. Women have made it clear what they want: equality. All the government incentives in the world aren't solving for that issue, so they said no thanks. Like here it says, both men and women are entitled to a year's leave during the first 8 years of their child's life. But in 2022, only 7% of new fathers use some of their leave compared to 70% of the new mother. Y'all are so hellbent on women having children. Why don't you tell men to be active fathers that they would want to have children with?
I personally think the timing for this resurgence is very good because we are entering into a new year, and as we are going into 2026, I think women should be aware that since these men are deciding not to change and society is hell bent on supporting these men and on prioritizing the interests and the opinions and the feelings of these men over our safety, over our real life day-to-day safety, we should not actually be focused on favoring men or even society. We should not look at it that, oh, human race is going to go extinct if I don't give birth. Oh, my bloodline. You don't even freaking have a bloodline. From the time of the Bible days, the woman's bloodline is not really considered. That is why, if you notice it, things are being recorded as, oh, son of a father, son of a father, son of a father. And most times when you give birth to these children, they don't even bear your name. So what is your interest in giving birth to children and procreating and filling up the world with people that, even if you give birth to a daughter, yes, if you give birth to a daughter, you're going to be giving birth to a victim of men and society. And if you give birth to a son, you're going to be giving birth to your own oppressor. So I don't really see the interest or the gain that women will get by giving birth. Leaving aside the whole 4B movement and men being pieces of shit and society being against women, just look at the world. The world is going into like hell. We have climate change. The world is not safe right now. The economy is shit. Even we can't find jobs. How are we sure our children will be able to find work? The world is not favorable for children right now. So why do they want us to have children aside from men and society and the rest? I don't want you guys to become deterred by them saying, oh, this phobia movement is a whole hoax that is not really true, and South Korea women are really getting married to this men. South Korea women are really giving birth. South Korea women don't really know about the phobia movement. Because why do you think this woman will come out and actually say and admit that, yes, I am doing the 4B movement, when there are things in place to discriminate against women in Korea, period? And particularly if you are a feminist. I saw a news that from Korea that a female archer, yes, someone that actually shoots bow and arrow, I think I'm pronouncing it the right way, and she actually won a trophy for their country. But this men, because she had short hair, felt, oh, this woman could be a feminist, so they started attacking her. This is the woman that have done nothing, a woman that didn't come out and say, oh, I'm a feminist, so I'm doing 4B. Just because she had short hair, she faced so much backlash and bullying and so much oppression because they thought she was a feminist. So what do these men think, that these Korean women are so dumb that they're going to come out and start saying, yes, I'm a feminist out in the public? They have no interest in coming out to tell them their game plan. No, they will just do it codedly. So all these things that they're saying, oh, there is a lie, that this 4B movement is a lie and it's a false news, I think it's a lie that is a lie. Yes. Because these women have no interest in coming out to actually say that, yes, I'm doing the 4B movement. So they're just going to be personally practicing it in their own personal lives. And I think the proof is in the pudding, because just look at their birth rate. Their birth rate is literally the worst in the whole world. They are literally going to be going extinct. Their culture, yes, all of you girls that like K-dramas and K-pop, that may be going extinct very soon. All these things are going extinct. Why do you think that is? If Korean women are really not doing the 4B movement, you can do something without saying you are going to do something. Me, for example, I have this channel and I don't show my face on the channel. Why do you think that is? I live in a very conservative part of the world, a part of the world when I've seen women got stoned to death for doing less things than coming out to speak against men. So why will I show my face? I'm doing it in the evening, the same way these Korean women are also doing it in the evening. So don't get deterred by these men. Don't get deterred by these woman mongers that are trying to make us feel as if, oh, we should just give up and do it and get married and have children because, yes, the Korean women are actually having children that are not really affecting their birth rates, and their birth rates are still plummeting to hell. Okay, if you want to believe it, believe it. Going into 2026, I want women to just look at their life and look at society. Look at all these things that the 4B movements involve. Look at the SMEX aspect of it. Are you really gaining much from the SMEX with men? A lot of women are faking their organisms. They are not really enjoying SMEX with men because these men are not aiming to gratify you when they are having sex with you. They just want to get their own pleasure and use you for it. So are you really enjoying it? And also look at dating men. When you are dating a man, what are you really gaining from the man? Yes, you'll be like, oh, you want that companionship, but these men, why do you want the companionship of men who don't like you? Because a lot of these men don't like women, period. And most of them don't even like their partner. So why do you want the companionship of a gender, of a man who does not like you? And also for the aspect of marriage is just unpaid slave labor and sex work. I've said it before and I'll keep on saying it. Marriage is that reward that they give women to feel like, oh, you have gained something. At least you are not a missus, so you have been rewarded by this man. So you should give him your all. You should give him all your free labor. You should give him your life. You should give him your womb. You should give him everything. So do you really gain from marriage? And also for the childbirth aspect, childbirth, yes, you say children are like a blessing. Okay, children are a blessing, but why do the man don't not want to participate in that blessing? Why do the man always leave all the child care to you? Don't they want to participate in that blessing? Children are bundles of joy. Let him participate in the bundle of joy. No, these men know that children are actually hard work. These men know that children are actually like a lot of labor being put on women. And because these men are not the one that are responsible for the day-to-day taking care of the children, that's why they want children. If a lot of men are being left with their children and they are the primary caretaker, a lot of men will not want children. A lot of them themselves will go child free and start doing their own 4B movement if they are left with these children, because they will go crazy. But you are expected to, because of maternal instinct and nurturing instincts, you are expected to just give in and have kids and not think about your own interest in all these things. Honestly, I tell you that if you just look at your life and at society and at what you really gain from all these things and what you really lose from them, a lot more women will go into 4B. Not even considering that, oh, men are pieces of shit and society do not support women. That's by the wayside. The fact that you gain little to nothing from these things, these 4 things, and you actually give a lot. By the time you do that cost to reward analysis in your head, a lot more women will decide that, wow, I'm going to go for it. So as we're going into the year 2026, I want you to think about this, not even to just think that, oh, I'm going to intentionally punish men or punish society because society have been wrong to me and society have been wrong to women. No, just consider the cost benefit analysis of all these 4 things. Consider the cost-benefit analysis of dating men, of having sex with men, of getting married to men, and of having children. Consider that cost-benefit analysis and see if you by yourself will want to do them. And see if you by yourself, feminism aside, will want to go for B or not. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it interesting, and also subscribe to the channel. I've been seeing your support and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Wishing you all a happy new year. Wishing you all prosperity. You girls go get it, because this year you need to make your money. You need to have your career in check. You need to have your education. So I want you to be getting something, accomplish something for the year, so that you can be independent on your own and you do not have to be at the mercy of these men. Bye.